Hello, everyone. My name is Gabrielle Critchlow, owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. This is another one in my series called Sponsor Spotlight, where I highlight my sponsors and their businesses. And today I have with me Amber Hawkins from Your Computer Needs of Toledo. Hi, Amber. How are you doing today?
Hello there, how are you?
I'm good. So I wanted to thank you for sponsoring A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Your contribution is very helpful to us. And I wanted to give you this time to talk about your business and yourself and whatever you want to get out there. Sounds good?
That sounds wonderful.
Awesome. All right, so let's begin. Tell us about your business.
Well, again, thank you for having me. For those who don't know me, my name is Amber Hawkins. Your computer needs a Toledo LLC based out of Toledo, Ohio, where the motto is computer training and more that comes to you. I provide customized online, on-site, any mobile computer training and consulting services. I also sell computers and accessories online. As far as the computer trainings, they involve any range from the beginning, you don't know anything about computers at all, to the concentration mainly being the Microsoft Office products in the advanced levels and also the beginning levels. So anywhere from Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, Outlook, and the like.
That's wonderful. So what got you into this field?
One of the things I admit I always love computers, so anything in regards to computers, and if there are individuals who have a challenge trying to understand some of the concepts as far as with computers, I always try to do my best to help them out. And when it came to training, when there was a transition from the typewriter, if anybody remembers that time frame, to the computer, and when training was where computers were used instead of the typewriters, I seemed to always grasp, okay, I got it. And there were others who struggled. So during the times when I had previous jobs, I helped out coworkers. And then I didn't think about it at that time. And I thought, maybe I need to go into my own business and do training. But it was just a passing thought at that time.
So tell us about that aha moment, that eureka moment where you decided I'm gonna go for it and become official.
I decided to do that after about my seventh or eighth time being laid off because it was like, all right, this is not getting it. And I was taking a training actually from a nonprofit agency called Access Toledo, where they for those who wanted to have their own business, they had a 13-week course on how to do it. And in one of the sessions, my aha moment was when there was a training as far as if you want to go to business, this is what's involved. And it was like, wow, okay. You mean the times I had done this as an employee, I can do it as far as in my own business? I was like, okay.
So you realize what you were while you were working for someone else, you realized you could just do that for yourself.
Correct. Yes.
And how has the entrepreneur life been since you started?
The entrepreneurial life is wonderful. It has its ups and it also has many downs. Sometimes the downs you're not necessarily prepared for, and they can catch you off guard at times, like having the rug being pulled from under your feet. You don't expect it to happen, but when you are down for the count, as they say, you either have to do one or two things. You either have to pick yourself up and try again, or you just stay there. And the one thing I could not do was stay there. There have been moments in which it took a little more time to pick myself up, but eventually that's what I did, because there are times also during the entrepreneurial life when the flow of money is a wonderful flow, and there are times where I got to do something because right now the money's not flowing the way it should.
Mm, okay. Well, you talked about the pros and the cons. So, what are some of the pros of being an entrepreneur?
Ooh, let's see. I'll give the summarized version because I can think. I have to admit, I can think of a lot of pros. One, I would name several. One of them being, yes, you are your own boss, but as far as scheduling when you want or need to do something, you can do it at your pace. You are responsible for yourself, so you don't have anyone, as they say, over you or hovering around you all the time. You dictate how things are to be done task wise instead of someone dictating them for you. You can schedule and also negotiate your payment when the need comes forth instead of waiting whatever time period a company has for you to get a raise, if you're going to get a raise or if you're going to get a promotion and all of that. So as an employee, you have to follow whatever guidelines or whatever is given to you. As an entrepreneur, you follow, you might as well say, whatever the industry standards are of whatever your business is. And also at the same time, you also have to realize that as you gain each customer, yes, you are the boss, but you have to remember that you meet each customer's need. And I was more for that than being dictated what to do, how to do, if to do it, what not to do, what will happen, and all of that.
Right, right. And that's important to you.
Hmm. Exactly.
All right. So, you mentioned one of the cons, which is the financial implications of it. What other cons are there in the entrepreneur life?
Let's see. The one of the other cons is sometimes you find out who supports you and who does not support you. That can be quite a shock because you have those who know what you do, but you get not as much support as if there are those who don't know you. You have the disadvantages sometimes depending on your industry. I would say in the computer and technology industry, there are increase as far as females, African American females, and the like growing, but then at the same time, you kind of had to prove yourself in a sense. Okay, you're a female. How much do you know? And sometimes I've had little tests, as they say, to test my knowledge.
Your trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations, that's true. I would say one other con as far as entrepreneurial life is concerned, oh goodness, is when you, as a person like myself, still also have the proving grounds of why you charge what you charge. And usually When it comes to training and when it comes to computers, do you have anything free or whatever you have as far as do you have a budgeted category of what you do?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I have to respond, I do, and this is what you will get as far as that realm of the budgeted category is concerned. If you want this level, this is the price you will need to pay. And I had to have help along the way as well as knowing that I do have, as a business owner, have the right to price it the way I need to price it. And it's true as far as if you price like a certain level that's considered low, you won't get as much respect and attention. It is something, but it's true.
So you had people like kind of challenging your rates,
Exactly, yes.
and what was the solution to that? What was your solution to that?
In the beginning times, I would say like the first 5 to 7 years, I would negotiate, but I negotiate too low, and I didn't realize that because I have to remember that I am making a living. So that is still a challenge sometimes, but I'm more of a stickler to saying to those, this is my price. If you want to go to someone else, you're free to do so. But I always let them know as well too. The price I'm quoting you might not be the price when you come back to me.
Mm, right. So if they take the chance when they leave.
Exactly.
Mm, all right. All right. So let's bring it back to your company a bit. So you you do pretty much everything computers, right?
Pretty much everything. More on the training aspect of it. Some level one problem shooting, but mostly the training side.
Right. Okay. So you do the virtual workshops as well.
Correct. Yes.
So what types of topics do you do your workshops on?
The workshops, as far as
What do you what am I trying to ask? What do you do your workshops on? What issues do you focus on? Or
a lot of
programs or things like
mhm.
that?
The programs, as far as, like I said, my concentrations as far as the office products, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, Access, OneNote, and a publisher. I've also done trainings as far as even with small businesses, if they want to understand the technology and computer side of things. I've done workshops and training as far as that is concerned. I've done trainings as far as on the basics too. If you don't know what a computer is, what's involved with computers. I've also done, it's been a little while, but I've also done typing. And I still do. I think I'm one of the few, I haven't heard too many, that still teaches on typing. It is a little challenging virtually, but there was a need at the time because with the training of many small businesses doing some workshops, come to find out that many mentioned that they really haven't kept up with their typing skills. So had to develop a workshop on like a quick review of typing 101, as they say.
Okay, that's good. You know, typing is very important in our society, especially that we're slowly moving into a more computerized and digital society. So definitely familiarizing yourself with computers and typing
Mhm.
and technology and things like that. So seeing as how you do a lot of trainings in like computer programs like Microsoft Word and how to use a computer. Do you see yourself working with a particular age range? What in your trainings, and what things have you noticed about your clientele?
Many of them have been women. There have been quite a number of men too, but the majority of my customers, I would say, have been women, 30 and up, but mainly around the 45 to 55 age range, but still 30 and up. Those that are more seasoned as far as work experience is concerned, more of those who have an interest in especially the time management of things. All right, I have this computer. How can I use it to manage my time more? Because I really don't know about it. Maybe I don't know the program of what it can do to help me save time. In the business world, mainly that's where I've had my customers come from. Some from the nonprofit sector and a few from the faith-based sector, but mostly business corporations, even small to mid-sized businesses.
Okay. And do you do your trainings in person or virtual or a mix of both?
I would say before the pandemic, it was mainly on site. I Not that I didn't have a virtual component at all, I did, but before the pandemic, it was mainly on site. When the pandemic hit, for a while, there wasn't any customers and had to try to navigate through everything because either they postponed or canceled contracts. But what happened was I became more of a virtual space. So I would say right now it's more virtual than on site, as there is a slow transition back to everything. I have done a few on sites, but it follows the COVID-19 rules and regulations. Wherever I conduct it, it has to meet those rules and regulations, and at the same time, with the mask and with the gloves and all of that.
Okay. When you say on site, where is that?
On site where the need is. So if it's at a business building, for example, and they have a training room or a conference room of that building, and if large enough, I've done individuals' homes because they had large enough house space where we can stand 6 feet apart. Because my specialty was home training, where I went to the individuals' homes and trained them on their own computers so they would have knowledge of how to use their own computers. Nonprofits, if they had like a space available, I've conducted trainings there. So although I don't, because of working from home, I don't have customers come here, I go to where they are.
All right. And well, where are you located? Maybe I'll ask that first before I continue. Where are you?
Oh, I'm based out of Toledo, Ohio.
Okay. Okay. So when you travel to people's homes and businesses and corporations, it's within your city?
It's within my city, yes. I've had a few in which I've gone out of town. In Columbus, I've done a training before, Columbus, Ohio, and a few other spots outside of Ohio, but mainly in Toledo. Now, virtually, that's a different story. Virtually, it's been outside of Ohio. Uh, let's see, New Jersey, uh, West Virginia, even London. My first national, it was part of a group, but yeah, I've even reached London, and I'm still overwhelmed by that. But virtually, again, it's outside of Ohio.
All right. Great. Awesome. So you're still doing the on-site, but just not as much.
Correct. Not as much.
All right, awesome. All right, and you also mentioned earlier that you sell computer products, is that right? Computer accessories, things like that.
Online, yes. Computer products, laptops of the different brands, even desktops of the different brands, even Macintosh. A lot of people have asked me, do I sell uh, items like iMacs and all of that, iPads? And I said, yes, I do. I sell those. And also the pens that go with iPads and all of that. Thumb drives, jump drives, servers, external hard drives, external CD, DVD write drives.
Wow, you sell laptops and all the parts that come with the desktops as well.
Correct.
So
Yes.
you have your own e-store, electronic
Correct.
store.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
my own Easter. Yes.
all right. So you have a lot going on. You have your own trainings where you go on site. You also have your virtual trainings. You also sell computers, computer accessories, the parts to a computer. What else am I missing? Did I catch everything?
Let's see. I probably need to rest a little bit, but I do. Let's see. What else do I do? I've done speaking. Done some speaking as far as computer topics and trends. I do video marketing. I've done internet research reports. If there are those who don't have time, for example, to have their PowerPoints together, I customize PowerPoint presentations for companies and individuals. I have done live streaming, I've done podcasting, and what else have I done?
A lot.
A lot, yes.
All right, all right. All right. So how do you work? So let's say I have a training and I have this office space. I have 20 employees and I want to do a training on um let's see. I want to do a training on how to use Microsoft Word, for example. And I'm looking to have a training set up. What do I do? I'm your customer. What do I do?
All right. Oh, I would say, first of all, the Microsoft Office training, I would need to know, as far as Word, which version of Word, because I can't do a 2019 training if you have 2010 installed
Mm,
on the systems. That would be the first thing. The second thing would be how requesting wise, I should say, would the training need to be done? Is it going to be a one day? Is it going to be just the morning, just the afternoon? Is it going to be throughout the whole week? How do you want the training to be done? I would mention third that there will be a pre-assessment that needs to be done, because I need to have an idea of the skill levels of the participants and what to expect. The scheduling of when it will happen. I will mention the cost. Will there or will there not be any additional materials? Because that also determines the price as well. So would it be just me using a PowerPoint presentation along with the software installed, or would it be B, just the presentation and the handouts and probably a pre-recorded training instead of the live? C, could it be the training along with the PowerPoint presentation and books if there are needed? How will it be done, as far as am I coming on site, or am I doing virtually? With way things are now, if I'm coming on site, probably with the situation with you, I probably would also have to include travel arrangements where I need to stay and all of that. If I'm doing it virtually, that would be a different cost. I also can't forget as well the excuse me, if I'm doing it virtually, who has and who does not have laptops, or am I going to be where I'm coming via the equipment that's set up in that place's conference room, and I'm going to be, live streamed through those means. So as you can see, I ask a lot of questions
I
and
see
all of that.
that.
Right. Because these are the things that I need to know. So I honestly need to know the logistics of everything. And I do ask all these questions because I want to make sure not only do I conduct and give the best training possible, but I have knowledge of what's going on, how everything is, how probably I should and should not present the training and all of that. Because I could be, as I said before, having an idea of how I'm going to train one way, but another way, this is the situation that's actually happening and it's not going to benefit anyone.
Hmm. So would I be dis discussing all that with you? Is all that laid out on a form that I just fill out? How does all that work?
It could be either way that you mentioned. It could be discussed with me. It could be on a form that's filled out. It could be where if you see you have an interest, let's say for instance, if someone has served and saw the yourcomputerneeds.net/contact link, filled out the information, and I respond to them via email, arrange a meeting to discuss everything. It could be where it's just virtual via email or virtual. I've had people Facebook message me or send a message via YouTube. It could it could be many ways really. I've even had straight, still to this day, telephone conversations. And
Oh,
I've had a third, like a person from somewhere else that represented someone who was having discussions with me about trainings.
okay, so I would be talking to you
Correct.
essentially, whether it's directly or whether it's through the contact form of your site or through the form, but I'll be working with you.
Correct. You're working with the direct person. You have situations where people are working with others or whatever. I tell people, nope, it's me.
All right, all right, all right. Okay. So maybe let's talk about a little bit real world stuff since you're all into the computers and the computer stuff. What do you think about um our society, and we're seem to be moving into a more digital age. There seems to be a lot more like cashless stuff going on with the business. So tell us your opinion about the way things are going in society in terms of us moving into a digital age, or do you think we're not moving into a digital age? What are your thoughts on that?
I would say we're moving more into a digital age. We are already in it. It's going to advance more than people think, in my professional opinion, because the realm of computers and technology are where it advances. It doesn't go back. It might reflect back in history, but it's not going to go back that direction. You, as a business individual or whoever, need to understand that you have to have the tools and the equipment necessary to handle these technologies. For instance, as a matter of fact, this happened a couple weeks ago. The phone service that I have sent an email saying that they're going to upgrade all their towers to 5G for the use of the phones and all of that. And because I had an older phone, I am going to have to get a new phone, which I did, because if I don't, then I will no longer have service. So whether that's an individual, whether that's a business, that's going to continue happening. You're going to, let's take another example. Let's say you are a business and you're bidding on a project or bidding on a contract, and always there's that section that asks, what do you have as far as your equipment is concerned? Do you have a laptop or desktop? Do you have this as part of your software? Whatever the case may be. Is your laptop or desktop this version or this model? Or do you have this version of this particular software? Do you have this edition of that particular software? And if you're not updated, you just made yourself to be where you're at a disadvantage already. You're going to, on the other side of that, and what I tried to do as well, to help people bring them to speed, even if it took them a very long time to bring them up to speed, because as we continue to update, upgrade, and all of that, there are those that still need to have help catching up. You have anybody from a mom and pop to even a nonprofit to a faith-based and all of that, that don't have the understanding that you have to have this equipment. You need to be updated computer technology wise. You have to change out your point of service systems. You have to have equipment that also includes A, B, and C. You have to make sure that it's amazing. You don't have a web page. You're not on Facebook, at least. You how do people, yeah, you still use word of mouth, but in order for your business to survive, you also have to include the computer and technology side of things. So it's a lot that I've mentioned, but digitally, virtually, remotely, we're going to continue this path. You have to also have as part of your foundation the learning of computers and technology. Yes, there are, for instance, robotics and everything, but it still takes the human knowledge and the training to operate them. And if you don't have that knowledge, as an example, you're going to be at a great disadvantage. When anything is expanded and built or built new, it's going to be built with what's current, not what was in the past. So you have to learn that system. You have to learn that new computer model. You have to learn that updated software program. So you have to continue updating yourself as far as your knowledge of that. Navigating through the internet. Even 20 years ago, we're not navigating the same on the internet as we are now. How do you present yourself as far as your business or your faith-based or your nonprofit, as far as on the internet, for example? How does your page look? How doesn't it look? Is it upgraded? Is it where it's user friendly? Is it where even is it smartphone friendly? Because we are on these so much because we're, very mobile and all of that. And you're going to have to make sure that you are having a presence on devices like these or on drones or whatever else is being used. So, although it seems like I'm all over the place, we're dealing with a topic that is all over the place, and that's part of our lives that we have to make sure that in order for us to survive, we are able and capable to manage what we do digitally.
Okay. So what about um what about like what should I ask you? All right, so you mentioned before about, um that we're using more like robots and
Mhm.
even though, we still need the human connection. But do you think I mean, maybe this is a controversial topic, but do you think we're all being replaced by robots?
Many of us are already.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to take a human touch to operate it. But if you don't know how to operate it, you're going to be replaced by someone who does. If, let's say, there's a company and we're not far from it, where the whole crew is robotic,
Mm-hmm.
there still needs to be someone human to operate it. They just may not be operating it on the same building or area where the robotics or the robots are located. The robots can be doing, let's say, for instance, the assembly of a vehicle in Topeka, Kansas, but the base of the operations of the robots are located in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as when there's a problem with the robots, the troubleshooting team is probably going to be sent from Little Rock. Now, in Topeka, and I'm just using these cities for example. If the question is why are people from the outside doing all this, is because they were the ones that had the knowledge. Why don't you have the knowledge? When it came to the bid of the contract to do this, have you learned? Have you gone through the training? If a place can't be found to handle the robotic operation, they have to bring forth who can. And if you don't have the training, if you don't have the knowledge, they're going to find those that do have the training and do have the knowledge.
All right.
It just, hmm
Right. And is that where you come in and provide that training?
Consulting wise, I, now for me, I would not know as far as training you how to operate the systems, to operate the robots. But what I can do is, okay, for your company, in order to survive, and according to the information provided to me, this is the direction you're going to go. This is why it's in order for you to survive, and I would have to research this too, because there are some things I would need to know myself. You need to do A, B, and C. You need to handle, and how will you handle trying to explain to someone that their employment is going to be determined by if they can operate the system to operate this robot or not. So if you want to stay employed, now that we made this change, this is what you're going to need to do. And it's going to take a lot of maneuvering, a lot of putting these pieces to the puzzle here and there, because now for that situation, that is quite involved and can be quite complicated, because you're changing a whole dynamic on how a system and also how business operates.
Mm.
So that would be the example of the computer consulting side of things of what I do, because mainly as far as computer consultation is concerned, I have it where I try to help a business or a faith-based or nonprofit and the like make the changes necessary for them to continue functioning, but more computer and technology wise, and understanding that. So if you are a business, you need to update how you operate, and you still have old computer systems from 2005, that's not going to work.
Mhm. All right. So just to just to sum it up, so what you do is you take your clients and you help them adjust to the digital age, whether that's providing computer consultation or your trainings on the digital programs like Microsoft Office. Um, you also you also sell the computers and laptops and accessories. So you pretty much provide a lot of the tools needed to integrate into this digital age that we're in. Did I get that?
Yeah, you got it. Yes. Hey.
Uh, all right. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So we'll switch gears a little bit. So I wanted to ask you about you your sponsoring of a Step Ahead Tutoring Services. So we're about to come to the end here. So can
Okay.
you tell us what made you want to sponsor us?
Well, one of the things I think what attracted me to wanting to sponsor you was how you do the tutoring services. Not only is it handled, what would be considered a traditional tutoring service, but what I found very attractive is that everything is housed in one central location, but it still reaches the masses. So that's what attracted me to you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. So we are at the end here. So where can we find you?
You can find me yourcomputerneeds.net. You can also click on the contact link of yourcomputerneeds.net, and that will reach my email and I will respond back under the handle of YCN as in Nancy OTLLC 05. That's short for Your Computer Needs of Toledo LLC. So the first letter of each word. And 05, that's when the company started in 2005. So again, YCN OTLLC 05 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also YouTube.
Awesome. 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 All right. And just one thing just came to me.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you could imagine that you're not the only one doing this kind of work. You have some competition out there.
Yes, I
So
do.
what makes you stand apart from the competition?
One of the things, I can be reached in many ways, as you can tell, because you can also call or text me to 419-304-4564. I stand out because, as I said before, it's customized. Not everybody learns the same, and not everybody needs the same thing. I customize it to the need of the customer, the need of the business, the need of the group, in case that's the scenario there. I let people know that they think they're getting someone else. No, they're getting me. You are getting the president. You are getting the CEO. You are getting the consultant. So it's direct. So you're going to get the direct help from me. You're going to get the person when you call, you're thinking you're speaking to someone else. No, you're speaking to me. You're getting that personalized service. Um, Down future, yes, you will be getting, a virtual assistant and all of that. But for now, you're getting me. You're getting someone who's going to bring the experience in the forefront to try to help you to attain the goal that you're trying to reach. The computer technology wise, a lot of people will call me the patient one. I'm not going to let you go until you get it. Because until you get it, no, I'm not going to let you go. We're going to go through this together to make sure that you are able to attain the goal that you're wishing to accomplish.
All right. No, and you're the real deal. No robots. You're
No
the real,
robots.
no robots. You're the real deal.
No robots. No, I'm the real deal. No, you're not getting any robots. No, your computer needs a Toledo LLC is not robotic. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but in case it does, no, no, no. The robot will be doing very minimal things. Oh no, you're getting me.
All right, awesome. All right, so Miss Hawkins, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Thank you so much for your sponsorship. It is much appreciated. And if you can rattle off your contact information again so we know where to find you.
Very much so, and I'm very appreciative of this. Again, Amber Hawkins, your computer needs of Toledo LLC. You can call or text to 419-304-4564. You can click on the contact link of yourcomputerneeds.net on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I almost said Periscope. There was a time I'm on there. I had to catch myself. I miss Periscope. But anyway, also on YouTube, the handle YCNOTLLC05.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, all this contact information will be in our description, so you guys will have it to see. All right, so my name is Gabrielle Critchlow from A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Ms. Hawkins, for your time.
You're welcome, Ms. Critchlow. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right, and signing off.